Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing part 2 of the Wish wedding dresses. I received another 2 Wish wedding dresses in the mail that were delayed from the last video. So let's open these dresses up and see what we've got. Alright, I have a small parcel and a large parcel. This is the smaller one. I peeked inside to just make sure that it was the Wish wedding dresses, but I have not seen this. Okay, at first glance, it looks ivory, which is great. The lace is looking a little bit cheap, and there's a row of silver sequins, which you'll see in a second. Let's open this up. I'm so dubious about these because of the last reveal. Okay, I will say the chiffon they've used is really nice. Oh, the finish here is not good. I can see already, don't know if you guys can see that, but they've just overlocked the edges instead of turning them and curling them under, which is a shame. A little bit of tissue, but you know, if it's too long, that can be altered. Like with all the other ones, guys, there is not a lot of structure in these dresses. So if you're wanting something really supportive and constructed like a wedding dress, you're not going to get that from Wish. What you're going to get is a dress in ivory or white that can be worn for an, you know, I wouldn't say an event, for a picnic, for a birthday, etc. This lace, the thinness is okay with the lace, but because it's not structured and they've lined this triangle piece here, it just looks like, you can see it on camera that it's sheer here and then it's covered there, and it just looks all wrong. I will put up the picture of the original dress. I also don't like this row of sequins. I think sequins on wedding dresses can look really cheap, so you've got to be super careful. Also, I don't know what they've done here, but they've sewn it in such a way that this trim kind of flips down. Don't know if you can see that. That would be really annoying if you're wearing that and that constantly was flipping down. Could I make this dress nice? Yes, it would take a lot of work to put some structure in here. The back, I'll show you the back. The back is a low back. You know, it's a cute low back. The trimming is really cute. I do like that. And I do like the lace that they've used here. I don't think it's the same as the picture, but it's in the finer details. It's in the lining. It's in how they're closing the seams. You know, inside, it's quite messy. And sometimes that actually comes through, you know, to the actual dress, how badly it's sewn on the inside. I don't know what this thread is right in the middle of the center here. I find it quite strange. I think they've attached, you can sort of see, there's a thread all through the middle, and I think it's actually, they've sewn, hand sewn these pieces, and they were just too lazy to cut the threads in between. Might have to be careful, because if we cut these threads, this might unravel, so we might have to sew that back up. But you know, like, it's been done in a cheap way, guys. There's no mistaking that. I'm gonna put it on the doll so we can see it on the doll. Yeah, I would never construct a wedding dress like this, guys. I just would never do it because it's really cheap. It's cheap. It's ill-fitting. I mean, I'm holding onto it there, but it's actually really roomy. But I'm going to just clip it behind so that we can see what it would actually look like if it actually fit. Wow, there's like 2 or 3 inches to be taken in. Okay. See what I mean with these flaps? Like, they're already annoying. They're not sitting flat. You'd have to hand sew that on top. It's just extremely cheap. The lining, I can see the lining through, and it's tight because they obviously have not used enough lining underneath because it's stretch, so they just sort of went, okay, it'll just stretch to a person. Let's not care about that. This needs a lot of construction. I would actually take out these triangle bits, the lining pieces, and I would put in a nude panel either all the way if you didn't want it sheer, or I would put boning and you just wear nipple stickers, because to me that just looks terrible. Really changes the line. Also, this skirt looks nothing like the picture. It is completely straight with a bit of gathering here. Like, I thought this was supposed to be an A-line, beautiful, gathered, you know, heaps of volume. There is no train on this at all. It's just straight on the ground. So you really have to be quite short to wear this dress, or else it's gonna hover and it's not gonna look good. So that is something to keep in mind, guys, when you're buying these dresses on Wish. Take note of the heights and take note if they have trains. If the photos look like they have trains, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to come with the train, because they're not using the right photos anyway. So, you know, they can kind of show you whatever they want to make you buy. It's so much harder to return, and you're better off just not buying it to begin with, or asking the questions before you buy. That first dress is really disappointing, so let's move on to the next one and see if we have better luck. Okay guys, dress number 2. We've only got 2 dresses today. Now I have to say, if you've had a look at my other video of with Wish wedding dresses, I think the dress that we just saw was probably the worst out of all the 3. So let's see if someone else can be the winner by opening this bag. Let's see if this will be any worse than the other 3 we have seen. Oh. Okay. This is what I've seen. The color is horrendous. It's a peachy pink tacky color. Oh dear. Let's have a look. If it's the dress that I'm thinking, I do not understand how it can be in such a small bag. Okay. There's like a furriness. Oh my god, how can they do this? Guys, I'm so shocked that they can take people's money and give them this. I mean, yeah, what do you expect for, you know, $40? But I've received some half decent dresses for $40. This is not one of them. I don't know if you can see that skirt part. Okay, the first thing I have to draw your attention to is the sparkle, the weird sparkle on top of the lace. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna try and get in really close. You can probably see a sparkle going on. If you look really closely, there's actually like furry bits coming off the lace, which is giving it that sparkle. I've never had lace that has had that furry bit. It's sort of like tinsel. That's what it's like. There's tinsel woven into the lace, which looks very tacky. There's a pearl channel here, and normally that's sewn flat. This has been sewn like, I don't know how to describe it. They have sewn this so badly. They've just put invisible thread over the top and done this all the way down. How can they do this? But when you wear it, I'll show you when the doll is wearing it, it's not going to sit flat because they haven't sewn it flat. And then they've just, like, look at the sewing here. They've just run a big stitch down the front to sew that lace on the tulle. I mean, I hope it's coming across the same way as I'm seeing it here, guys. I don't know if it is. The skirt part looks like it's made of lining, so it doesn't even look like it's a real fabric. It looks like lining fabric. It's extremely untidy around here. Like, you can see the seams. The skirt is also really thin. Like, this is supposed to be a full, like, nearly ball gown. There is no way that this is a ball gown. This looks like a smock. Oh, guys, I'm so disappointed. I'm going to put it on the doll. This would make me want to cry if I received this and I was expecting to wear something at my wedding. I don't even know how someone would be able to put this on because the zipper opening is really, really small. See that? That's all they have opened the side for you to get in. I don't know how anyone would be able to put their hands, look at this. Can I even put it on the doll? It's super tight. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is ridiculous. You would have to cut this open to get inside it. And now the zipper doesn't want to go up because it's sewn so cheaply that it's gripping into the fabric. Holy dooly. How can they get away with that? This lace is horrible. I never thought I would hate a lace as much as I do this one. It's crunchy, it's spiky. The neckline, I mean, they've just overlocked this. How can anyone wear this? You're better off just cutting it clean. Why don't they cut it clean? I don't know. Right, they've given us a belt in the matching fabric, so let's put that on. Maybe it'll make it a magical evening dress. Right, well, let's just try and position it as best we can. Guys, this makes me want to cry. Because I feel like these people are just scamming you. They're just scamming people. And they're palming rubbish off as clothes. And yes, it's super cheap, but take photos of the real thing. Don't use other people's photos of expensive wedding dresses to sell rubbish. Alright, let's have a look at the back. First thing is first. Can you see this spine? How lazy is that? Didn't take the pearls off the string, and they've just sort of put it in this weird channel. So it's actually sewn like a spine. It should be flat, you know. But that's just a lazy way of doing it. That's why they've done it like that. Also, the sewing of the lace is just all over the place. Again, the neckline is really quite ugly. The worst part, I think, is the skirt, because it's not full at all. If you bought this dress by the photo, you would be so disappointed. I've bowed it to make it look remotely okay, but you can sort of see here, like, you can see all the overlocking underneath. There are ways to make a dress look nice without it being lined. They have not done that at all. The pearls also look really yellow. They look stained yellow, like they're really, really old. Oh, jeez. I'm absolutely shocked. I think this is probably the worst one. I think this is worse than the other one that we just saw. Oh no, they're probably on par. The one that we just saw in this one. I can't decide which one I dislike more. I feel like this one has more potential because the lace is actually okay. If you fixed up the stitching, if you fixed up everything else, it could probably work. And if it wasn't cut like this, see, that's just really messy. I would actually cut the pieces out properly and then hand stitch them. Anyway, this makes me so angry, guys, because yet again, Wish has taken my money and have not given me anything wearable. The first dress in my last Wish video was okay, and I could probably fix that dress, and I'd probably attempt to do a bit of a revision or a designer challenge on that dress. And I feel for all these girls that are buying this stuff and paying money for this rubbish and being scammed, because they're not shown the right photos. They're not shown, you know, what they're really getting. And if they were shown that, they probably wouldn't buy it. Which is the reason why they don't, you know, why the factories don't do that. Why the supplier of this hasn't shown this real dress and has shown the beautiful, you know, $10,000 dress that looks a little bit similar to this. I used to think that they're not scammers. They just, you know, their eye for detail probably isn't as high as mine. And now I have come to realize that I'm wrong, and that I think that they are scammers, and that they will try and get away with whatever they can. And if they can give you a cheaper, quicker made version of that dress that you see in the photo, that's what they're going to do. They're not going to care too much about it being exactly the same. I don't really work like that. I even go as far as to try and implement the same look and feel. You know, even if a dress feels a certain way, if it makes the bride look a certain way, I try and implement that. So, and you have to be really careful how you do that, because if I took a dress that someone showed me a picture of and they said, I want this dress, and I couldn't find that exact lace, and if I was using a different lace that was similar but not the same, I've got to be careful that the weight of the lace is the same, the density of the pattern is the same, the way that there are swirls in the lace. I've got to make sure the dress isn't going to look the same. It's not going to give the same look and feel. And I talk about that a lot, because sometimes you can find something different, but when it's used on that same style, it's going to give the same look and feel, even though it's a completely different lace, or even though it's a different fabric. So it's about really understanding your fabrics and knowing what you can get away with and what you can't. In this respect, this fabric down the bottom, the skirt fabric, is not the right fabric to showcase this dress. From memory, it's a much thicker satin, it's got a lot more weight, and it's cut a lot bigger, and there's probably a petticoat underneath. This hasn't got any of those things, and even if you put a petticoat under this, it wouldn't work because the dress is not wide enough. It's not a wide enough A-line at the bottom. So they've really kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit, because you can't even fix this without recutting the whole skirt, you know, which you don't really want to do if you want to just fix it up a little bit. So that was a big mistake. The lace could have been just sewn a bit better and it would have looked a lot better. From memory, I thought that there was like a little bodice piece, but I could have been wrong. Please, please, please think twice about buying any sort of dress from Wish, unless you're seeing reviews, unless you're seeing real photos. Well guys, I really hope you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe to my channel. I do videos all the time on wedding dresses, fashion, handbags, etc. and vlogs. So I hope to see you next time in my next video. Bye for now.